How's it going? How's it going? I can't see. There's something wrong with the YOLO box. I was thinking to reboot it, but I didn't bother. Basically, it's not showing the levels on the mic. So I'm going to assume that there's a microphone, but if it goes out, please let me know. So we're going to start here, day 2 of this timber truck from Qollorette. So we only got through 2 instructions yesterday, but that was somehow 138 pieces. Just to sort of refresh your memory, you can see the instructions here. Oop, they're gone. Okay. So instruction 2 was all these tires. So it was 10, like 1, 2, 3, 4 like tire pieces, and then 6 pins, and then it was times 10. Oh, that was cool. So I could highlight by clicking it. I don't know how I did that. Try to do it on purpose. I can't. Anyway, there was 100 pieces in section 2, and I guess there were 38 pieces in section 1. So now we're going to move on to section 3. I was thinking about scanning this book. I didn't get to that. If it goes to a day 3, and if I have time, I'll scan it. There isn't a PDF online, so I have to take pictures. And rather than everyone having to take pictures, I'll scan it. I have a scanner because I also do comic books. And I'll make a PDF, and then the world will have access to a PDF. I'll put it in the description, although it doesn't exist yet. Well, anyway, for now, we're moving on to instruction 3. And we're opening the box to take a look at what we've got there. Still a little too bright on the overhead camera. I'm not sure what's going on with that. I gotta figure that out. Anyway. And I've also still got, you can't really see this, but I don't quite have the cameras set up the way I wanted. I had them earlier in the day, and then I lost it, Had it, but I lost it, so we're back to sort of the old school way of doing things. Not completely old school, but actually it's the same as yesterday. I just wanted to do something better today, but nope. It's same as yesterday. All right. So instruction 3, it starts off with looks like 2 B20s, 2 B19s, and 2 C8s, and then 2 C4s. So is it really 4 B19s? I think it is. I think it's really 4 B19s. All right, so let's do this. Sheet A is pretty much done. Just put that in the bottom. We may not even need that anymore. So, two B20s. Oh, we need our golf tee. All right. There were 2. No, those are 18s. We need 19s. Anyway, here's the 20s. It's a fairly big piece. So what do you think this is going to go to? The shape of this B20. Anyone have a guess on what part of the vehicle that's going to be? I don't know yet. And there's the 4 B19s. They're right next to the 2 B20s. So that's 2. And after I get the 4 B19s, that's going to be 6. I'm just counting this so I know how much to increment the pieces counter. 2, 3. Oops, almost knocked the B12 out. All right, that's 6, but we still need. All right, those are the B19, B20, B19. Might as well keep it in order, right? And then 2 C8s and 2 C4s. So we have to go to the next sheet. 4 more pieces. 2 C8s, 2 C4s. Wait a second. Why is this the D sheet? Where's the C sheet? A. How do I... Well, what? How did the C sheet get below the D sheet? Anyway. It somehow happened. Here's the C sheet. So 2 C8s and 2 C4s. What are the C4s? Are like a curvy piece? Yeah, there it is. Like an accordion, I sometimes call them. Basically, they're very tricky pieces. I might break them just trying to get them out of the sheet. So you can see the C4 piece. It's like, it like curves, you know. I don't see any connectors on this piece, which is weird. Oh, is it going to go inside of here, and that's why it doesn't need connectors? That's interesting. Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. C4. We also need 2 C8s, which is how many C8s we have. 2 C8s. All right. 2, 4, 6. That's 10 pieces. So we got to increment our counter. Just to give you some backstory here. I've got to learn to work this YOLO box left-handed because that's just the way it is. Like if I work it right-handed, my hand goes in front of the screen, but if I work it left-handed, I reach over camera 3. So I'm just trying to do more left-handed YOLO box work. All right, anyway. That's just some little extra information for you if you're following along with my constant efforts to get this live streaming desk set up. It's a desktop stage, basically. It's just the desk in my room, and I added 3 truss pieces to it, although I think I'm going to add 2 more because the over-the-shoulder camera, it's like using these clamps to clamp to the desk, and it just would be easier if I did the truss. Like I have an L-shaped desk, I might as well do an L-shaped truss. Right now it's just like an H or whatever you want to call it. All right, B20s now. Another thing is I cropped the image on the instructions because the iPad is like a different shape. And when I did that, it had the offer to create a new like setting or to create a new one or to alter the original. I should have picked alter the original. I picked create a new one, and that created this situation where it's now like one off screen, like you hit the ribbon of all the video inputs and it's like slightly off screen. So like it's an extra tap to go back. Not for all, just if I go to the overhead picture-in-picture, which is, if you can't guess, it's this camera. But as you see, it takes me a while to switch in and out of that one, because that's the one that got bumped to the second screen when I cropped the instruction view. Well, tomorrow I'm going to crop it. Today, the cropped one is an extra view, and I just don't need that extra view. There's no point to it. All right, so now we're up to this curvy piece. And I think what we're supposed to do is like, so we put a couple of the B19s here. So they're like backstops. So we're going to put this through the like cutout here, and then put more B19s on this side, and they'll act like backstops. I think it's brilliant, actually, assuming this works. I mean, if it breaks halfway through, then I'm not going to think it's brilliant. But just looking at this concept, it seems like a good idea. But this is all going to depend on whether this piece will actually go in or not. If it goes in, then it's brilliant. If it doesn't, then I guess it's lame. Or if it breaks while it's going in, what is that? What are we going to call that? User error? I'll tell you. I'm already thinking I'd rather slip this off and put in just one side, because as you can see, I'm so far not able to get it in there. But, you know, maybe it would be even worse to try to stick the end on, because you might force it and break the accordion. Whereas if I'm trying to get the accordion in there, then once I finally get it in, it should be smooth sailing. Let's see. Let's see if that's true. I'll tell you, it's not easy so far. Let's see here. Not on. That's my reaction to that. Okay. Let's try pre-curling it. All right, two hands. One hand working the back and the other hand working the front. Let's see if that works. Well, I think I have to take away my opinion of this being brilliant, because I can't do it. I feel like I can't even get it started. I guess once you get it started, it'll be easy to push it the rest of the way through. Is that what we're thinking here? Because all I'm thinking right now is one false move and this piece is going to break. All right, let me spin it around. I doubt that's going to make a difference, but let me try that. Not going so far. Oh my goodness. Nope. Did I split this end? No, it's not split. But it's also not in there. I wonder if other people watching this are just doing this no problem. Like, who are following along with their own copy of the puzzle, because I'm having a little trouble here. All right. Should we start it and then try to wiggle it in, or do we line it up and try to get it in one shot? I've been trying to start it, and so far that's not working. But somehow I think trying to get it in one shot will be even worse. Oh my goodness. It felt like it was in for a second and it's obviously back out. All right. We're going to start at the other end. See how that goes. Maybe. What if we put the middle in first? And then try to get the two ends at the same time. Well, that's tricky. Because you're kind of guessing where the middle is. But if you get it, well, you can slide it a little bit. That's like so close to getting in there, but it's not in there. All right, it started at least. I feel that it started. I don't know how accurate that is. You can see it in there. It's definitely somewhat in there, but I'm not sure how to get it further without breaking it. Oh, that's working. Okay, so once you get it started, it is pretty easy. It slides right in once you get it started. All right, so we did it. Now I got to get the other end in. I thought that was going to be automatic. I'll tell you, it is easier. It is easier. It's not automatic, but it's quite a bit easier compared to starting it. Yeah, that was pretty easy. I mean, to start it took, I don't know, let's call it 3 minutes, whereas to finish it took like 10 seconds. All right, so we can put the cap on now. And then it's going to be nice and snug, right? The cap being the B19. All right, I got to get it on before it's starting to come out. You got to get it on before it comes out. Otherwise, you'll be pushing in with it out, which will almost certainly break the accordion piece. Oh my goodness, come on. All right, it's done. One side is done. Feels pretty strong. I think that worked. Now I got to do the other side. All right. What is it that we did that worked? I think we put the middle in first. Let's see if we can do this side quicker than we did the other side. Oh. Close. Close, close, close. Got it. Oh, man. Did I get it or not? Yeah, there we go. That's in. So we definitely, that little bit of experience paid off. We did better the second time. What have we here? Come on, come on. You can do it. Just line it up and get it in there. During the tires yesterday, when I was answering a lot of questions, I should have set it to auto director. Like at that moment, I should have switched it to auto director, because the last like 20 minutes of that show, I was just doing the 10 tires. And I should have switched the camera to auto director because there was really nothing to add. There was nothing. It was all going to be repetitive, and there were going to be 10 tires, and you might as well set it. Like, I don't want to do that, like, permanently, but we could do it just for fun one night, do the whole show auto director. But definitely when you're going to spend 20 minutes building 10 tires, you might as well set it to auto director. Auto director means it changes the camera angle, either by a set pattern or a random pattern or whatever. I pulled it out. I gotta redo this second one again. Basically, while I was putting on the little B19 cap, I somehow managed to pull this accordion piece out, and this is no good. I'm now in the situation of having to put it back together and hoping that I don't break the piece. All right, slide the piece on, then go down here, make sure it's in. Is that gonna work? Let's see. Wow. Yep. This thing, that was bad. Don't let that thing come out after you get it in. It's no good when it backs out. It's tougher to do the second time. But I'll get it. All right, let's get that pin on. Or nut, whatever you want to call it. I think I got it. All right. That's it, right? So I'm not sure still what part of the car the truck this is. It's got to be something external, right? If they use these accordion pieces. I'll tell you, the only thing it looks like is this gas tank, but that doesn't make sense because there's two of them. Yeah, it's a mystery. I don't know what we just built here. We'll figure it out eventually. All right. What's the next instruction? I guess instruction 4, right? So we've built a lot of stuff, and we're going to put it all to the side for a minute. So instruction 4 is building, I believe that's a wheel well. It's one of the back two, right? Because it's a 2-tire wheel well. Is it maybe going to have like a ×4? No. There's a left side, a right side, and then another left side, and another, presumably right side. So F3, E6, F1, F1, E6. So they're different. They're a little bit different, these things. F3, E6, F2. The other one's F1. Yeah, they're all a little different. You got to be really careful. They come from the E and F pages, and they're a little crazy. So E and F. All right. Here are the E and F sheets. And the pieces we need. I mean, you can't mass produce these wheel wells because they're all. Each one of them has a different configuration. So the first one is, well, they probably all have E6 in the middle. I probably could punch out all 4 E6s. Let me just confirm that. Yeah, all right. They all have E6 in the middle. So I'm going to grab the 4 E6s. All right. So, oops, almost popped out an E7. They're tricky pieces. They're like accordion. Again, they're like accordion on both sides, and then they've got something in the middle. Not an easy piece to get out. But we'll get it. So we need 4 E6s. We got to take all 4. I already marked them on the scoreboard, the piece tracker, whatever you want to call it. This one says, oh, they all say stop. Okay. That probably indicates that it goes to the back. The fact that it has lettering means it's outward facing. And then that it says stop, that's like in any puzzle, if there's ink, it's an outward facing piece. You wouldn't do ink on a piece nobody's going to see. But on the wheel wells of this truck, the outs must point backwards, right? Like so that someone following the truck would see that where it says stop, and presumably they would stop. All right, so there's the 4 E6s. So we can put the E sheet down for a minute. And instruction 4 needs F3 and F1. So there's 2 F1s, 2 F2s, 2 F3s. No, there's 4 F3s, but there's 2 F1s and 2 F2s. And what we need right now is 1 F1 and 1 F2. Okay. No. Did I say F1 and F2? No. F1 and F3. And F3 is an outward-facing piece. Basically, the outsides of the wheel wells are all the F3s. So it's going to seem like we're doing the same thing 4 times in a row, but I guess the F3 and the E6 are the same all 4 times, but the other piece changes. In this first case, it's F3. So let's do that. What were we saying about the stop? The stop goes towards the back. But how do I know which end is the back? Or does it become the back based on how I put the piece in? All right, this is the outside. This is the back once I put it in. So you put it in the left so that the stop shows up in the back. Like that's how it becomes the back side. It's based on how you put it into this other piece. Wow, 5 connectors. It should be pretty secure. And it looks like that stop kind of hangs down a little bit, like a mud flap. Yep, hangs down like a mud flap. So this is F3, this is E6, and this is an F1. I presume there's only one way this goes on? No, this looks pretty symmetric. I think you just slip this right on. Yeah. Yeah, it's this symmetric piece. Let's get each piece kind of started before we start pushing them all in. And then hopefully we don't break anything. Although they're kind of falling out, I think I gotta push them in to get them to stay in, but that's gonna make them tougher to get them to go on the next piece. Wow. Yeah, all right. You can't start them all. You got to secure one and then start moving down the line, securing them all. All right. There's the first wheel well. I don't know which one it is, and I feel like I should write left side on it. Okay. I wish it would say, it just says left side. I wish it would say like left side front or left side back. All right. Anyway, I'm going to put it in front of my left hand. That way I know it's left side. And the next one is right side. I'll put it in front of the right hand. So actually it's going to be really obvious because the only difference between 4 and 5, which are left side and right side, it's the same 3 pieces. It's just the order that you put them together. So actually, it's pretty easy. So we're moving on to instruction 5. So there's 2 more pieces there. All right. So those pieces are, this again, an F1 and an F3, but this time, well, the F3 goes on the outside both times, but the outside is in a different place, whether you're doing the right or the left. I think I've made this point clear. All right, so I think let's start with the outside piece, the F3. That makes sense to me somehow because you can see this is the outside, and then you know that this is the back because that's like has the word stop there, so it must be the back. So let's just go through here, click this together. This puzzle's going so well so far that I'm definitely feeling guilty that I didn't open my other Qollorette puzzles yet. Maybe it's because such a weird name, Qollorette, and had a non-distinct box, and I don't know. This box at least has a picture on it. A lot of the others don't, and this is, I assume, like their newest one. So maybe they've learned that if you put a picture on the box, it makes the more people interested in the puzzle. So hopefully, I mean, I'll go back and do more Qollorette puzzles. I've got them. Just gotta do them. All right, so we're doing our first right side wheel well. It's instruction 5. We're up to 156 pieces. I don't know how many pieces there are total. The sheets, how many sheets were there? Like 8 sheets, something like that. We're through one of the 8 sheets. So what's that, like 12% on the way there, and a few other pieces, so at least 13%. Anyway. These back pieces are coming out while I'm getting the front pieces in. Actually, these are the front pieces. Based on the direction that they go on. Okay, there we go. Right side. So 4, 5, moving on to 6. Now, 6 is a left side, but it's a little bit different. We use an F2 instead of an F1 for some reason. All right, so that's instruction 6. And we're now up to 158 pieces. All right. So the pieces we're looking for, well, F3 as always, and F2 is now going to go with it. I'm just curious, how different are these F1 and F2 pieces? Like, are they really different? They don't look... Do you see a difference? Oh, the F1s have attachments on them and the F2s don't. Well, I can tell you by looking at the box, the F2s are the back. As you can see the attachments on you can see the F1 piece right there. And you can see this one does not have that piece. You also, I think, are getting an idea of the scale of this puzzle just by looking at this piece. So this size on the box is smaller than the reality. What would you say? It's not half the size, but it's like maybe 2/3 the size or something like that. I don't know. Let's see. Anyway, these two are the front ones. Next. All right, F3. Let's put this together. It's going to get the F2. Were some features I wanted to test as far as we're on tonight. What were they? Oh, test running video with audio and mic over from files on chip. Well, I didn't get any. Well, also from iPad. All right, I didn't put any files on the chip. You can like select audio from the a chip. You can put like an SD chip into the YOLO box, and it could have video files on it. And I wanted to test if you can speak over the mic when you're playing the audio. But here's what I'm going to do. It's going to be 2 tests in one. I'm going to launch like 10 seconds of a YouTube video from my iPad. And that's going to test 1, if the sound comes through from the iPad, and 2, if I can speak the microphone over the iPad. I think the sound is not going to come from the iPad unless you're mixing audio. And you know what? I think I can do that. In fact, it's going to determine the way I set it up today. I have the third camera on USB and the iPad and HDMI, and I didn't want to do that, but it wasn't loading. But now I'm thinking that was a blessing in disguise because you're not able to mix the mic with the USB, but I have the iPad in an HDMI. I know it's a lot of nonsense if you never worked with a video mixer. It sounds like I'm speaking French, but anyway, here's what I'm going to do. So I've got the iPad is here. The instructions are on the iPad. I'm going to go into the audio mixer for a second, and I'm going to see if I can turn on HDMI 3. I can't, because there's a reason why. Remember how I said you can't see the microphone input? That's part, you can't see it, and the audio mixer is frozen. So you can hear the microphone, I assume. But the audio mixer is basically unavailable right now. And if it was available, I would turn on the microphone and the HDMI 3, which is the iPad, and I would test talking over video. But I don't think I can do it because the audio section is frozen. That I really should have rebooted this before I went live, but I had spent like 10 minutes setting it up, and I didn't want to do it twice. I don't know. It's kind of a lame excuse, but that's the reason. All right. Anyway, instruction 7 is I guess it's going to be an F2 and an F3, even though the instruction's kind of cut off. But it has to be that, right? So instruction 7, 2 more pieces. We got F2 and F3. So those are the pieces. Let's do this. F2, F3, and of course E6. And this is going to be a right side piece. And then the other two things I had like on the list for wanting to test today. One was if overlays can be animated. But I didn't put any animated overlays on the SD chip, so I can't test that. What was the third thing I wanted to test? I have it written down here. The third thing I can't do, I wanted to calibrate the color across all the cameras, but I need to either print out or basically I need something to calibrate to, and I don't have that right now. I didn't get to that. I didn't get to anything really. I'm up to episode, what am I up to? 208, and so far every episode I've just plugged in the cables a few minutes before I hit go live. I've not really done any pre-production. On the weekend show I'll do some. That I'll have some time then. I work a full time during the day, so I don't really have time. But once I teach myself during the weekend, then I can do it really quickly during the week because I already know it. I already know what needs to be done. But the things I have now, they're all like testing. Like I don't even know what this YOLO box can do yet until I test it. So those are the three things I wanted to test. Mixing iPad sounds with microphone, doing animated overlays, graphic overlays, and what was that third one again? I just said it. Oh, the color calibration. All right, that's not a test. That's a separate thing. That's a like do it once and take a picture to remember how the setting, and that's it. That's it forever. I definitely need to mix because the microphone and video, because then I can play clips. That would be cool. I can like play clips and then talk about them. All right. Let's see here. So I didn't scan the instructions. So I just kind of still got them printed out, the printed copy. So it's time to go to the second, sort of, I guess, third and fourth pages, which are instructions 8 through 15. So I have to quickly take a picture of those pages. So bear with me for a minute while I do that. All right. What did I say? 8 through 16? Doesn't really fit the shape of the thing, but all right, let me see here. It's also getting like bad, harsh shadows on it. I definitely should have scanned this stuff like earlier in the day. So just to show you here, I just took a picture of the instruction book 3 and 4. And like, look at those harsh shadows. Yeah. Anyway, I should have scanned it during the day. So now we're up to instruction 8, and that involves a times 2 of, it looks like a ladder, like the ladder. Maybe that goes into the cab, maybe one for each side. Let's see if that's the case. So a ladder for each side. That's 4 pieces, 2 C5s, a C6, and a C7. So that's 8 pieces total. So we're up to instruction 8, and that instruction 8 is 8 pieces, bringing us to like 160 pieces total. By the way, I think the audio just unfroze. Can you believe that? I hope you can still hear me. So now I can test that mixing. Unbelievable. I said so. Do we want to do the 8 pieces? All right, let's do instruction 8 because I already said I'm going to do it, and then we're going to test mixing the audio. Maybe because I used the iPad, maybe that caused it to become unlocked. Anyway, 4 C5s, 2 C6s, and 2 C7s. That's what we need to build the 2 ladders. Right now I'm just looking for the C sheet. Here it is. Is that the grill of the truck? So that definitely gives you an idea of the size. That's the grill of the truck. All right. So we need all of these C5s, all 4 of them. 1. What? Come on, get out. 2. 3. That's 4 C5s. And then the steps are apparently different sizes. Yep, the smaller step is the lower step is smaller. I assume that's accurate. I haven't gotten into any big rigs lately, but I assume that's accurate. All right, let's do this real quick so we can move on to testing the audio, but not so quick that we mess up. So the only thing we need to remember to not mess up is that this tab thing, this how do we describe this? This is like a shape, and then it has like a tab on the end, and the tab is at the top. And what at the top means is that's where you connect the big piece. That's all the top really means in this context. All right, that's a pretty snug fit. And then the smaller step goes at the bottom, and then we put the other side on. Line it up, and that's it. That's how we do the stairs. And you can sort of see how this is going to attach to the vehicle using the tabs. There's tabs all over these pieces. This is obviously the way Qollorette makes their connections. It's like no question here. So there's the little staircase. All right, let's do another one of those. Did I face the stairs the right direction? Yeah, I did. Okay. So yeah, this the top, the tab sticking out is at the top, and then the step that you connect faces like out in the opposite direction from the tab. All right, that's in. Okay. All right. That's done. All right, now we're going to go to the iPad. And we're going to bring up, you won't see this. I'll just kind of narrate it for you. I'm bringing up the audio mixer. And I've got, no, it's frozen again. Unbelievable. All right. Yeah, no, it's not frozen from a certain view. So it's frozen from like the full screen view, but it's not frozen from this like side panel view. I don't know how to explain it, but you'll have to just take my word for it. All right, so one thing is the mic might be quieter than it was other nights. I'm not going to change it now, but I remember the first night I had a +5 on the mic in the gain. And right now, I've got nothing on the gain. It's just mic in. So, yeah, definitely I had problems setting up the mic for this show, but I'm not going to change it mid-show. That would be weird. You know, if it's lower volume tonight, sorry. All right, what I am going to do is I'm going to turn on the audio from the iPad, which if I'm not mistaken is audio 3, HDMI 3. All right. So now I have the microphone on and I have HDMI 3 on, which is the iPad. So I'm going to open YouTube and I'm going to play like a couple of seconds of a video. Let's see what video here. What's going on here? All right. Okay, let's do this winter survival. We'll do like 10 seconds so that I don't get like banned or anything. Don't hear it. Do I not hear it, but you hear it? I gotta plug in the headphones so I can hear if you can hear it. Oh my goodness. Well, it's playing a commercial.
This is not just.
All right, I hear the commercial,
this is a
which is good. I
collection
probably won't be
of
banned for
54
commercial.
beautifully designed
And do I hear
storytelling
myself?
tactics
Yeah, I hear
full of
myself
practical
talking
tips
over.
that will get. You can start your story.
All right. I paused the live stream. I don't know. Hopefully everything's working okay now. Let me test the microphone again. Do I hear the mic? I do. Let me check the audio coming out of YouTube. All right. I got audio on YouTube. So here's what I did. I ran the iPad onto the YOLO box. And then when I went to stop the video, instead of pressing the iPad, I pressed the YOLO box and I stopped the stream. But then I only paused it apparently. So now it's back, I think. Let me see if I can go back to the instruction page. And if so, yeah, I guess I did it. So that was scary. I accidentally stopped the stream. I don't know if it was noticeable to you. It might have just looked like the screen froze for a second. Anyway, I see that all viewers were lost while I was doing that test. So I think we're just going to call it a night. I'm glad we got the test done. I'm glad we got 53 minutes of building this project done. But since everybody left when I crashed the stream, I see no point in continuing on. I never did get the audio set up for tonight. So I'll just say goodnight. I'll see you next time.